We are live on YouTube right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we
Please go
start
ahead,
then?
sir. Yeah, please, sir.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to the presentation. Welcome to the seminar titled Solar Assisted Biogas Plants for Higher Gas Output and Sustainability in India. If you're wondering, my name is Harjit Singh and I work for Brunel University, London. And this seminar is being organized jointly by the COSTAR MSW project and India's Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. And we're really thankful for them to provide us this platform to present this seminar, which will summarize in general the activities of the project as well as the opportunities in future for other potential partners to participate in it. We have lined up, there are 14 speakers, or there'll be 14 presentations in total. Some of them are listing the activities that the project is currently undertaking and has progressed into, as well as there are others which are from various government departments, as well as Brunel University, London, offering people opportunities for future collaborations as well. With this, I would like to kick off with the seminar with just a request to speakers that they should all, if possible, please stick to within the time allowed for each one of them. And also, we've made an arrangement wherein my colleague, Dr. Anurag Pramanik, is going to send a warning, a verbal warning, that when there'll be 1 minute left in your allotted time. So you'll hear a voice, she'll say 1 minute left. So please bear with us with this arrangement, because we found out there is no other way we could warn speakers about time left. With this, I'm going to kick off with a brief summary on the project. The project that we're talking about is titled COSTAR, abbreviated as COSTAR MSW, with the full title of it being Concentrating Solar Thermophilic Anaerobic Reactor for Municipal Solid Waste. The project, as you can see, is funded by, you can see some logos here, is funded by a joint call between UKIERI and Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, to 3 partners, which are, in this case, if you allow me to, in this case, as I said, the funders are UKIERI-DST, UKIERI and DST, under a call given out by them in 2018-19. The project is currently, its duration is till September 2021, with the partners being on the UK side, Brunel University, London, and on the Indian side, we have Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, IIT Delhi, as well as National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli, more commonly and generally known as NIT Trichy. The UK research team includes myself, Professor Savastasu, who is on the screen, and Dr. Anurag Pramanik. And on the Indian side, we have Professor Virendra Vijay, Dr. Ramchand, Dr. Pooja Ghosh, and Dr. Suresh. And you will hear from each one of us as we go through the day. Some of us will be talking about what we have done specifically on the project, but some of us will be also talking about, in general, the research activities we are taking up. And there is a little web page as well on Brunel University London's website if people want to know more about the project as well. Now, the project in general, if you're wondering, targets to develop 100% solar heat run thermophilic anaerobic digester with an overall target of cost effectively valorizing the organic municipal solid waste, of which hundreds of tons of which are made every day in India in various towns. This target is to be achieved through 3 specific objectives. The first one being technology development, wherein we're developing solar technology, so the storage technology, as well as the thermophilic reactor, which is and each institute involved, like Brunel is looking into solar concentrator, NIT is looking into solar thermal storage, as well as the IIT Delhi leading on the reactor side. The second objective being with monitoring and installation monitoring and evaluating the performance, with final objective being developing a computing tool to size the system in the most cost-effective manner for various cities around India. The photographs show there the photographs taken when the various partners, for example, on the first one on the left, Dr. Ramchandra, when he visited us in Brunel, as well as on the right-hand side is a photograph of a seminar I delivered in IIT Delhi, where Professor Vijay is also clearly shown, and Dr. Ghosh as well. The project has progressed very nicely. We've developed in Brunel, we developed the solar concentrator, which is shown into the middle picture here. And then also, in addition, we've developed the nanofluid, which is the kind of the blood into the system that takes the heat away. Then IIT Delhi has developed and manufactured the bioreactor, and IIT has progressed on the thermal storage unit. And at this stage, we are now at the stage of shipping the components from Brunel to Delhi, where they'll be installed at the location, and then the first left-hand side picture, where this is the location where the system will be installed. And in addition to this, then we'll embark on the performance evaluation stages for about 5 months. And finally, also, I must say that we've progressed very nicely in terms of publications. There have been 4 publications so far which have come out of the project, 2 journal and 2 conference publications, and 1 seminar as well, which we're presenting today. In addition, there is another paper in progress being developed by my colleague Anurag Pramanik, which we are hoping to publish in a top-ranking journal. I suppose with this, I come to the end of my presentation on what the project is and what it's all about. We're happy to answer questions as they come along during the seminar. But with this, I would, hoping that there are no questions for me at this stage, I would like to invite the first speaker of the day, Professor Savas Tasu, who's the Director of Institute of Energy Futures at Brunel University, London. Savas, off to you, please. I'll stop sharing, and then probably you can start.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So do I need to share or?
I think, yeah, please, yeah. Click on the share button and then share your presentation.
Okay.
It's not coming up yet, but hopefully it should be coming up soon.
It's not coming.
So you are the presenter now, so you can share.
Yeah, share now. Savas, in the bottom of the screen, there is a button share. If you click on that.
Okay.
And then double click on the presentation specifically that you want to present. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you
Okay.
want to go to the slideshow, please.
Yeah, it's clearly visible to all.
It's visible. Okay.
Please go ahead, sir. Yeah, please go.
Yeah.
Annotation approved. Okay, let me. Oh. What did I get?
Just go to the slideshow. It should be okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I've got somehow I've got a message for annotation for some reason.
Well, we can see your presentation. It's only this that.
Yeah, but I cannot I cannot scroll through because.
Use your keypad. Maybe keypad should work.
Yeah, no, it's stuck for some reason.
You want to change this display, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Just let me help you out.
Okay, now?
Yes. Yeah, now it's perfect.
Okay. So I think now it can.
Okay.
Now it's perfect. Yeah, please go ahead, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. As Harjit said, my name is Savas Tasu. I'm the director of the Institute of Energy Futures at Brunel University, London. And it's a pleasure to be with you today. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a very brief introduction about Brunel University and also the Institute of Energy Futures. And I look forward to really sitting through the presentations and learning a lot more the activities on the project so far. It is a pity that as part of the project, we haven't been able to travel to India yet, but I hope that we'll be able to do that later on this year or early in the next year. Now, Brunel University was established in 1966. We have about 15,000 students, of which 11,000 are undergraduates. 3,500 are taught postgraduate students. Just over 600 research students, 2,500 academic and support staff, and a turnover of around 220 million pounds a year. Now, research at Brunel University is carried out in a number of centers and also a number of institutes that represent various research challenges, global research challenges that we are trying to, or we are aiming to address. One of the institutes is the Institute of Energy Futures, and the mission of the institute is to undertake interdisciplinary research to address national and global challenges in energy efficiency, demand reduction, and decarbonization. The institute encompasses 5 research centers and a number of research groups in the energy area, and these are advanced powertrain and fuels, where we're trying to use environmentally friendly fuels and also new sort of motive powertrains to reduce the environmental impact of transportation. The other center is the energy efficient and sustainable technologies, where we're trying to develop renewable energy technologies and other energy efficient technologies for power generation, heating and cooling. We have a center on power systems and smart grids, where we're looking at efficient and power distribution systems. We have a large activity on energy efficient future cities, addressing research in the built environment and trying to make buildings more efficient and to use renewable energy technologies. And also an activity on sustainable energy use in food chains, where both myself and Harjit are engaged in. Now, the institute sort of has approximately 45 academic staff, or 45 academic staff are engaged in the activities of the institute. Now, a little bit about the Center for Sustainable Energy Use in Food Chains. This was established back in 2013 from using significant funding from the government to address end-use energy demand reduction in food chains. And the vision is to generate understanding and knowledge to underpin and drive innovation in technologies, processes, and policies to deliver productive, decarbonized, and sustainable food chains globally. And we have activity on this both in the UK, but also overseas in developing countries, including India. And we deliver impact by developing technologies that can be applied in the short term, but also we carry out fundamental research that will have impacts in the longer term. We have also significant activity in developing countries and a large number of projects working particularly with Harjit, both in Africa, Asia, and India. And we're trying to apply circular economy principles and also address a number of United Nations development goals, for example, affordable energy for all, responsible consumption and production, and also create employment opportunities both in the UK but also in our partner developing countries. And this is a list of projects in Africa and India that we are engaged in, and perhaps Harjit will say more about some of these projects later. And that's all I wanted to say. And thank you very much for listening. And we look forward really to further collaboration with yourselves in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, but please don't go. We have a question actually for you from audience.
Okay.
The question is, how do we quantify sustainability in energy projects?
Oh, how we consider? Okay. I mean, really, what we do in a number of projects we carry out, we carry out environmental impact assessments that we consider both the direct energy use, the indirect energy use, and also the material use in our technology. So we consider the overall environmental impacts from cradle to grave over the horizon of the project and the use of the technologies.
All right.
I hope that provides a quick answer to that.
I hope so. If there is a counter question, I'll come back to you some stage. But thank you very much. Thanks for your time, and thanks for the nice presentation here. Now, going on to the next speaker is Dr. Averil Horton. She is the Head of Business Development and Innovation at Brunel University, London. And I leave it to you, the floor now, Averil.
Right, okay. Can you see that?
Yes, we can, yeah.
Lovely. Okay, so, yeah, I'm Averil Horton. I look after business development and commercialisation at Brunel, and I'm going to give you the very briefest overview of Brunel, just to give you a flavour of who we are and what we do. So we are based in London, and here is a map of London with the M25 orbital motorway around it, and the red dot on the right is Brunel. We're very, very close to Heathrow Airport. So our mission is very much to bring benefit to society through excellence in education, research, and knowledge transfer. And there should be the same picture as whatever we do. Move on the slide. Okay, that's the aerial view with some countryside, even though we're quite close to London. So our people, well, my numbers are slightly different to Savas's, depends when you count them. About 13,500 students, mixture of undergraduate, master and doctoral students. About 2,500 staff, split between academic and support staff. And the lady on the right there is our Vice Chancellor, Professor Julia Buckingham. Now, we are a collaborative research university. We really value collaboration. In the UK, industrially focused research is generally funded through Innovate UK, and Brunel has the 30th largest portfolio with Innovate UK. Our overall research income is about £30 million a year. And we are also determined to get our research into application to make a difference. In 2019, the Times Higher Education rated us the 40th most impactful university in the world. Not exactly sure what that means, I have to say. We have a very international perspective. Students from over 130 countries and staff too. And we really value high capability students from overseas. And we even have opportunities for exchanging students with the Newton Fund. So our undergraduates, 12% overseas, masters 42%, and doctoral students about half. And just to give you a little story here, when we were on campus and working properly, I used to have meetings all over the campus, perhaps a dozen people, and it was very, very common for me to be the only native English language speaker in the meeting. That's how diverse we are. About 100,000 alumni across the globe, 1,500 in India so far. And collaboration with international research partners is just simply how we work. So our structure, we have 3 colleges, engineering, design and physical sciences. health, medical and life sciences, and business, arts and social sciences. Now, I could quite easily spend some time talking you through what these do and what their projects are and professors and all that kind of thing, but all that information is on our website. So I will just finish with some views of what people at our university actually do, staff and students. So thank you very much for listening to me, and we can see some real life. We should have some nice music here to play really, but I don't.
Thank you very much, Averil. Thanks
Okay.
for this nice overview. Before you run away, we have a question actually for you. It says, the question is about what are the opportunities for Indian students to visit Brunel as placement student or PhD studentships?
Yes, we certainly have opportunities for PhD studentships. It's somewhat complicated. There isn't a simple system, as it were. I think the best thing to do would be for people to email me afterwards, and I can respond to them directly rather than try and give a generic answer now that is not necessarily going to help.
Okay, all right. So here probably I can say this, that after the seminar is finished, we are happy to share emails of speakers to whom I hope audience will be able to directly connect as well after the seminar. So thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. Yeah. So now I'm going on to the next speaker, who's Dr. Jaya Goyal, who is head of higher education and society within UKIERI's research and innovation department in Delhi. So she works for British Council. I'm sure probably there are a few affiliations here. But Jaya, off to you, please.
Thank you so much, and a very good afternoon, everybody. I'm just trying to share my presentation here.
While you do that, could I ask others to please mute yourselves while you're not speaking? Otherwise, there is some disturbance I can hear sometimes.
Okay, can I confirm if you are able to see my screen? Okay, that's great. So I am extremely delighted to be part of this distinguished gathering here to mark research contributions of UKIERI-DST Research Partnership. I think you have an acronym which goes as COSTARMSW between Brunel and IIT Delhi. And I would thank Professor Harjit Singh from Brunel for inviting me for this workshop to help me basically talk about UKIERI and share some insights on the research and innovation space in a bilateral partnership like UKIERI, because it's one of its kind between the government of India and the UK government. I understand it's a collaborative seminar between UKIERI-DST funded project and the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan of India. So I will be attempting to share with you a glimpse of how I view the R&I, the research innovation space, developing about UKIERI, and few examples of other energy-related partnerships that we fund. I hope that would interest the audiences that we have today. So quickly about myself, I am Dr. Jaya Goyal, and thanks for a very brief introduction, Dr. Harjit. I lead as head of higher education and society in a national role, especially looking at the research innovation strand of UKIERI that funds almost 105 bilateral research partnerships between India and the UK, along with 16 partnership development workshops. I also lead on the Newton Baba Fund. I heard my previous speaker talking about it as part of the British Council, and I'm based out of Mumbai. I'm a social scientist by training, so I am not from the STEM discipline, but I'm very happily spaced out in the science policy sphere since last 15 years. Yes, so moving quickly about UKIERI. I can share with you, all of you, that in the post-COVID world, the research continues to be a top priority for both UK and Indian governments. And as you could see, the previous head of the UK Department of Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy talking about the importance of the research innovation and the kind of funding that will be put and committed by the UK government till 2025. So almost 22 billion pounds. And we have a very similar kind of commitment by the Indian government as part of the National Education Policy 2020. And there are loads of initiatives as part of the higher education and research and innovation space between the two countries. So this gives us a lot of confidence as even research managers as part of the UKIERI space that research and innovation is really going to grow multiple times, even in the times to come. So quickly about UKIERI. The UK-India Education and Research Initiative, it started in 2006 and with the aim of enhancing educational linkages between India and the UK. And this has been recognized as a key multi-stakeholder program that has strengthened research, leadership, education, and skill sector partnerships between the two countries. And we are in the third phase of UKIERI, which started in 2016, and it will be ending now soon in March 2021. Basically, UKIERI, in this phase has focused on three main, I would say, areas. And first has been capacity building and leadership. Second, obviously, is research and innovation space that I would be talking about. And third is the skill development in higher education. So the whole program is valued to be almost around 45 million since last 15 years. And we have supported more than 800 plus institutional partnerships between universities between UK and India. And it has been hugely instrumental, we feel, that building strong academic partnerships and collaborations between the two countries. And it is also playing a very pivotal role in leadership capacity development and outward mobility from the UK to India with its Study in India program. So it's largely a huge umbrella, I would say, tackling many of the higher educational research interest areas between the two countries. So these have been our funders till date. From India, we have obviously the Ministry of Education, my good friend Sulakshana, I can see from the DST, she's here. We work very closely. We have UGC, AICTE, and the Skill Ministry of Skill Development from the India side. And from the UK side, we have the main funder as BAIS, which is Department of Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy, Department of Education, Department of Economy, Scottish Government, and the FCDO, or the Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office. So these are some of our funders. As I shared initially, we are in the third phase of UKIERI. UKIERI is now almost an institution, a bilateral institution between the two countries. And the third phase obviously is from 2016 and it's going to end now. The two major strands, as I shared earlier, were education and training and research and innovation. Quickly taking you to the highlights of what has UKIERI achieved in this phase, focusing more on the research innovation space. As we all know that UKIERI also partnered with the Ministry of Education for the SPARK program, which is Scheme for Promotion of Academic and Research Collaborations. It's a similar format that the Government of India also adopted for its partnerships across many other countries. And as part of the SPARK program, we have had 60 of these partnerships and many research outputs and researchers being engaged as part of the SPARK program. For the research partnerships, UKIERI in its third phase has 105 research partnerships, which I feel is really a magic number, because these are very high impact partnerships. You've been part of these as well, Dr. Harjit, and your partnership will also fall under the 62 partnerships that we have with DST, and we have 43 of these partnerships with the UGC. And if you could see, I hope it's visible, but these fall under 11 thematic areas, ranging from data science to climate research, waste management, human health, material sciences, physics and engineering, manufacturing, humanities, and social sciences. So basically, these have all been, very focused areas between the two countries, and these partnerships fall within, these themes. And I would say these numbers would really impress, people, that it's truly a bilateral work where more than 9,000 students have been supported. We have had large organizations, both industry, government, and civil society, that has been part of these partnerships. There have been large number of publications and knowledge products created. And I think this is in nutshell, in a crux, that I would share about these research partnerships. Now, this may interest your audiences here about the energy partnerships that UKIERI supports, and I was able to get some data from our databases. There are 7 of these partnerships that are funded by both UGC and DST, and basically these are all into energy spaces. It could be on energy applications or nanofuels, and particulate emission, engine compatibility. And as you could see that these are, sure. These are between different institutions between UK and India. And similarly, the partnership that I could show on the screen are from the DST. We have 4 of them. We also had a partnership development workshop that we conducted last year. So basically, the value of these partnerships have been around 387K, match funded by DST and UKIERI. Just to sum up, these have been the highlights of these 7 energy partnerships, the amount of researchers and knowledge products created. And I hope that the existing partnership between Brunel and IIT Delhi would also report some very fantastic research outcomes by the end of their phase. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Jaya. It was really very nice presentation, actually, summarizing how greatly UKIERI program is really achieving, actually. Congratulations for that. I have a quick question for you. I think it's a selfish question, but I should ask this. Is there a planned new UKIERI call? What happens after 2021 March?
So I think you tricked me into this. But we've been writing to you that there has been a lot of conversations going on, and we are still to hear from our funders. But I'm very hopeful that the outcome will be positive. So even if we are looking at consolidating a lot of UKIERI delivery work, which couldn't happen in 2020 because of the pandemic, there has been mobility issues, and research partnerships haven't finished, especially the DST ones. And Sulakshana would obviously also back me up here. But we hope to get back to you soon on this.
Thank you very much. We'll be waiting for this space. Honestly, we are all looking into this. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Jaya, again. And now the next speaker, who is Dr. Sulakshana Jain. She is the in charge of UKIERI projects within DST with the Government of India. And her talk is on India-UK science and technology cooperation. In a way, it's the extension of what we just heard from Jaya. So please, Sulakshana, off to you.
Thank you, Dr. Singh, for giving me this opportunity to deliver my talk in this workshop. Like, it's great privilege for me to be part of this workshop. One of the reasons, like for everybody, it's you always feel great when you are at your alma mater. So IIT Delhi is my alma mater. So it's again a great privilege. But I think somebody is going to, should I share my presentation? Or I think I got information that.
Yes, ma'am. We could share either. We can share on the behalf of you.
Yeah, you can just
a moment. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So it's So it's great, like as we all know, the science and technology is essential prerequisite for the progress of any nation. That we have also realized, and like present pandemic has also reinforced our belief that like science and technology is the great tool which can not only deliver products, services, and then also help us in making us a better society. And I think Jaya has like relieved me by telling more about the UKIERI because I think you can go on to the first slide. Yeah. So as you can see, the India-UK S&T cooperation, although we have the cooperation at DST is about 44 or 45 countries which are active as of now. But India-UK S&T cooperation has its own space, like it's one of the top 4 or top 5 S&T collaborations that India have. And it's the beautiful thing about this collaboration is it is multi-agency collaboration, multi-dimensional, multi-subjects are involved. So it's quite broad. As you can see, we have the many delivery partners from India side as well as the UK side. UKIERI is also one of them. From India also we have DST, GBT, DA, almost all that what we can say science and technologies departments and ministry are on board. And the growth is also great in terms of like our joint research program has gone from an almost zero base prior to 2008 to close to now 400 million now. So it shows the vastness of this particular cooperation. Next. So this collaboration is based on the 3 main pillars which are critical. One is people, research, as well as translation. Once it comes to the people, next, we have like when we have designed all the programs, we have covered all aspects of the research which is required to develop a full-fledged research cooperation. One is this, like we have all kind of student fellowships where the students can go from India or from the UK come, which include the PhD placement program where the students can go and do the PhD, as well as we have the small exposure. I think somebody has asked during the presentation, what are the opportunity for the PhD students? So we also have a fellowship program with the bias in this, like the students who are doing PhD there in India can go for 3 to 6 months in UK for capacity building or for the collaborative works. So this program has done well, but last 1 or 2 years, just because of this pandemic, although we are not getting new calls, but as soon as the things normalize, we are going to have more calls on these kind of programs. Next. Yeah, similarly, not only it is limited to the students. For the innovation space, we also have the leadership innovation program. We keep on conducting training program with Royal Academy of Engineering to develop future entrepreneurs, to make our scientists in the to bring our scientists in the entrepreneurship space. So and to connect our incubators from the UK universities as well as the industry. Next. Similarly, there is one very different program that we have come up with the UK side is the Indian-UK Frontiers of Science, where we take the young researchers across the disciplines. Because see now what kind of problems we are having in the coming world, they can't be solved just by being in the one discipline. Similarly, as you have projected these energy issues, when you want to go for the energy solutions, you need chemical engineers, you need physicists, you need biologists. So we have this India-UK Frontiers of Science brings the people from the different disciplines and give them opportunity to discuss the newer ideas and research problems that can be worked out. Next. Other than this, we have the joint research calls, as Jaya has mentioned, in the key areas like energy, health, living with the environment change, big data, food security, which covers almost all key upcoming areas of the research, where we time to time with various agencies, we have the focused calls. Like the current project is also part of those research calls that we make on the waste management as well as on the cyber physical systems. So these are very focused projects which are aimed to get the focused output also. So we want to convert those outputs not only in terms of the training and the workshops, but real product terms. What as Jaya mentioned in the knowledge products, and we are quite successful to get output from these research partnerships. In the energy, we have set up one joint virtual center also with some of the key institutions in India as well as in the UK, which is working on the key energy related smart grids as well as these power systems, all these areas. And another area where we are working with the UK side in sharing of the research and innovation infrastructures. So in that, our key area, although is currently is material science, but we are going to widen that thing also. So this is the brief about the what kind of activities we are having with the UK. So we are the one of the beautiful thing of this program is we're always open to the ideas where we can work more on these projects and what can be the more ideas. But now one of the key area that we are going to focus in next upcoming program is the societal aspect, like what we are getting from this research partnerships that should go to the society and how we can take it to the society. So that is going to be a main theme. And I think present project or the workshop is quite relevant in that. So I'll request Professor Vijay as well as Dr. Singh, don't keep limited this project just to the lab level or the, like what we can say in the product level or the prototype level. Try to bring it till the end by this, because normally what happens, these research grants are meant for 2 or 3 years. And then once the project ends, everything ends. So I think that should not be our aim. We should always go for keep on other avenues. Maybe not in this platform, although we always try to keep on building the next level structures also. Like initially, earlier we are having the industrial R&D program also with UK that we are trying to revive. So we can develop more ways, or you can suggest us more ways so that we can reach up to the end level of this. So that's from my side. I think thank you everybody for calling me here.
Thank you very much, Lakshana. You know, just catching up on your phrase, actually, there is a question from audience, which I'm looking on my right-hand side here.
Yeah.
And probably it very nicely will help you closing down your presentation. It asks, what are the funding opportunities for NGOs and industry to participate in these collaborative research projects? This is probably the question is from an Indian participant.
Yeah. See, NGOs, we like in industrial participation, we have always encouraged in a research partnership. Although in some of our program, we have kept the option, like if there is industry participation, we'll get an extra leverage for that. But the only problem is like we cannot give funds to the industry. That should be like the idea is they should be ready to take the product and to involve the industry in the research project is this. The once the product is ready, somebody is there to take those products. In terms of India UK S&T cooperation, earlier we have the few calls and there we were working to link industry to industry, where we have the 2+2 kind of arrangement, where one industry and academia from Indian side and one industry and academia from the UK side. Although there was some restructuring, that program has got stopped, but we are working to revive those programs, those kind of programs again with the UK side.
Right. Thank you very much. Hopefully the participant would have got the message. Thanks. Thank you again for your presentation. Now, with this, I'm going to call the next speaker, Dr. Sangeeta Kasture. She is the energy lead at Department of Biotechnology with the Government of India. Sangeeta, please, after you.
Ma'am, you need to unmute yourself. Yeah, great. Still, we are not able to hear you, ma'am. Please make sure your mic is connected because we are not able to hear you. Yes, now it's
Am I audible?
Yes. Now you're audible, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much, Professor Vijay and all team members for this Indo-UK cooperation. It's my pleasure to be to present the DBT initiatives in bioenergy. We have been doing a lot of programs in clean energy as well as bioenergy over the decade, and more than 200 projects have been supported in various areas of bioenergy. Just to give a glimpse of that, so sustainability, as all speakers have said, sustainability is very important in clean energy and specifically in the bioenergy area. And DBT has been supporting the program to implement the National Biofuel Policy, which is announced in 2018. So DBT's mandate is to support R&D so that we can make the biofuels economically available, economically viable, and sustainable. The major focus has been on the improvement of biomass, that is biomass development. Different feedstock are being developed, biomass breakdown, how these different pretreatments and enzymatic hydrolysis, all those have been focused, and the further is convergent technologies. There are technologies available, but we are trying to improve this technology so that yields are better. And there are different mechanisms, schemes are available in vertical, Center of Excellence, fellowship programs, competitive R&D, and international collaboration. These are the verticals we are supporting this bioenergy program. Coming to this, sorry. Yeah. So if you just quickly, I will just bring on the 5 centers has been supported, has been set up by Department of Biotechnology. The first center is at ICT, Center of Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai, and then second center is at Faridabad. This is in partnership with Indian Oil Corporation, which is the biggest oil marketing company. The third center is at International Center for Genetic Engineering Biotechnology, which is in Delhi. The fourth center, we have virtual center. These first 3 centers are the set up at one place, whereas this fourth center, SPAN IIT, which is connected, 5 IITs are virtually connected, which are engaged in different aspects of bioenergy program. And the 5th center is with TERI, the research institute, which is also at the Delhi. Basically, all these centers are very unique in their strengths and capabilities. Some are experts in separation, some are in commercialization, some have developed expertise in the systems and synthetic biology like ICGB, and PIN IITs are able to have engineering expertise, and TERI has some expertise in the demonstration of some earlier project. So we have also tried to connect these centers virtually. All these 5 centers are also connected virtually so that they are complementing to each other in order to achieve the national goals and mandate of 20% bioethanol blending in gasoline and 5% blending of diesel by 2030, which is the indicated target as per the National Biofuel Program. And under Swachh Bharat mission, last 3 years back, DBT has also started waste to energy program, where we have tried to develop and demonstrate the sustainable waste to municipal solid waste to gas, these projects, different in the form of energy. However, we are supported the organic fraction of the municipal solid waste. So different novel technologies has been supported, and they have brought some demonstration plants has also been established. The key major program is that we have also asked to stakeholders like local urban bodies, municipal corporations to be part of these joint projects, and this has been very successful program of department. Then there are different projects at sewage treatment and connecting energy out of sewage and sludge, some methanol projects, and some other Swachh Bharat projects have also been implemented on leachate treatments and many so and so. As I said, more than 120 projects have been supported over last 7 years. Besides Center of Excellence, more than 300 publications, 50 patents have been filed or granted, and with developed 20 leading technology which are under translation in different industries or public sector unit. You can see picture here about the 2G ethanol plant and algal photobioreactor, which has been developed by the ICT Center, and I'll take next slides, subsequent slides, I will now talk about the more achievements. Coming to the fellowship program, BSR, that is Bioenergy Awards for Cutting Edge Research. This has been supported in order to encourage 5 PhD students and 5 young scientists. They have been provided training and to connect with the US laboratories. This is with specifically with US program, Indo-US program. However, we also have different programs, and DBT is also having partnership with UK with recent the COVID development of COVID-19 vaccine. So those partnership programs are there, and separately with EU and many other countries bilateral programs. The Bioenergy Overseas Fellowship Program, which is similar to Ramalinga Swami, where we are trying to get the Indian talent getting back to India, postdoc fellows, which they want to pursue their research in India. This is specifically again for the bioenergy science and Indian biological engineering competition, which is the national competition where the IGEM, you might have heard about biological engineering, genetic engineering machine, which is hosted by US. So for that, through national competition, the PhD young students, graduate students are sent with after selection to participate in this international competition program. This is just a list of what technologies have been developed at what stage. These are 2G ethanol. So again, under this 2G ethanol, various pre-treatment technologies, enzyme hydrolysis, fermentation, and value-added chemicals materials have been developed. These have been developed at lab scale and being demonstrated to. Then 2G algal biorefinery, CTL technologies, this catalytic thermoliquid technology for faster. So we are trying to reduce the HRT time which is required for the anaerobic digestion. So that is rapid anaerobic digestion technology has been developed, lactic acid technology, all these different value-added chemicals through microbial intervention using biotechnological tools are being developed. Then carbon capture using different gas fermentation technologies and carbon capture technologies using the microalgae in yeast. The waste carbon is utilized to convert into omega-3 fatty acids. And also the capacity has developed in cross-cutting areas like techno-economic analysis, LC, etc., which are very important for any technology to take forward. So this is one just picture of the reactor, this combination of anaerobic and aerobic fermentation. This is at IOC Faridabad center. The carbon from the waste acetate is converted into the high value products. So this is in collaboration with LanzaTech. So LanzaTech has technology. So this has been the 10 kg, about 10 kg of CO2 is converted to 1.4 kg of algal oil, and which is with high DHA. This is the, I was talking about 2G ethanol. So enzyme is the key factor where the cellulitic enzyme, and currently there are just 2 companies which are selling these enzymes. So India has also taken this as a dedicated effort, and 2 centers, ICGB and IOC centers, have developed 2 different fungal enzymes, and which are at scale-up level and which will be later used for the commercial 2G ethanol plant. This is about the algal facility, 100 kiloliters facility of microalgae, which is cultivated at Mumbai coastal line. This is done by Terry Center, but because we know that the algal biofuel is not currently viable, hence we are also trying to get some different value-added products. And coming to the waste to value biogas plants, so DBT has supported many various demonstration plants. And this left side, you can see this plant is a Hyderabad, it's 10 TPD per plant, 10 tons per day plant. And second is at the right side, Goa, which is used on biomethanation of food waste and organic fraction. So these are all, they are working on it with municipal corporations with respect to it. So that's the key.
1 minute left.
Yeah, thank you. And this is one clean energy, clean tech demo park which has been demonstrated at Barakulla sewage site. We have also demonstrated sewage, how to use the different biotechnological tools to convert wastewater into clean water. So these are just right from the concept, proof of concept to demonstration. DBT has large number of schemes, wide range of schemes available, and many technologies are being also translated. And through international program, this is a mission innovation program of multilateral 25 countries, where DBT is the nodal agency, and we are closely working with Department of Science and Technology in various areas. Like 8 challenges are there. DBT is working on carbon capture, sustainable biofuel, and converting sunlight to other things, while DST is working on many other aspects of clean energy. We are also proposing aviation fuels and different platforms and mission modes. So we are proposing to have bioeconomy, biorefinery-based bioeconomy to promote renewable chemicals as well as materials. With this, I would stop now, and if there are any questions, I would be happy to, and we would be happy to collaborate with UK under different mission innovation programs. So I would skip this, so the different program. Thank you very much, and if you can reach to this website. Thanks. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kasture. Very nice presentation, actually, summarizing achievements by your department-funded projects, etc. But there is a question, although you touched briefly on it, you mentioned fellowships, and the question, I think, is from an Indian participant is there a fellowship in bioenergy for scientists, researchers in India now?
Yeah. So we would be announcing again the overseas fellowships separately because currently the program is over. It was for 5 years. So we would be relaunching the program in different for scientists. And
Right.
anytime for any project, so they can anytime support, submit the proposal through ePromise, that is the online project management system of DBT.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time and valuable information you shared today. And with this, although people probably already had enough of me, but I've got a little presentation here, which is going to summarize my research that I conduct here in Brunel with Anurag and Professor Savastasu. So just to, I hope people can see my presentation here, but go here. Okay, this is the presentation based on my research in solar energy technologies and advanced thermal insulation. Without going into various symbols which are shown here on the screen, I just want to say this, that I've got research funding secured from various sources in the UK as well as Europe. That includes, as you can see, the UKIERI, EPSRC, Newton Fund in the UKIERI, of course, which is the sponsor of this project for which the seminar is going on, Innovate UK, as well as the European Union. And this is my email address. If some of you want to ever want to contact me, please feel free to drop me an email. And with the in the wake of the time, in the view of the time that we have now, I wouldn't be going in detail, but I'm very happy to take any queries outside this presentation or outside this seminar. And if there are opportunities for discussing about collaboration or anything, I'm very happy to work with you and take your views on emails, etc. To summarize, the research focuses on solar photovoltaic and the thermal concentrating technologies for polygeneration. The example on the right-hand side top is the thermal concentrating photovoltaic system that generates electricity as well as hot water or hot air. And then also the focus is on developing nanofluids, which we use as the main source of working fluid in our solar concentrators, which I hope Dr. Suresh can recognize. This system was developed in the first UKIERI project we did with NIT Trichy with Dr. Suresh. And this is the roof of his lab where the system was developed and tested. Then we have this, we focus on thermal energy storage as well as focus on advanced thermal insulation, which we normally call as vacuum insulation, shown here on the left-hand side, the far left picture.
Sir,
as I go along,
is not moving.
Sorry?
Your slides are not moving.
Because I'm not moving them yet.
Yeah,
It's okay. So now what we have is, in this area, we've published 30 high impact papers in last about 3 years. And we're happy to share with them if you can't access them on ResearchGate or any other sources. So the current research funders, as I was saying earlier, they include EPSRC, GCRF, Innovate UK. Nearly every funder in the UK have funded our research, which is in collaboration with Professor Savastasu, who was the first speaker. And then also we've been lucky with Professor Vijay and Dr. Suresh to get fundings from UKIERI. Currently, my research portfolio in Brunel is more than £25 million. And then also I lead a research team of 12 members, which has got 4 postdoctoral research assistants, 1 postgraduate research assistant, 1 technician, and 4 PhD students who I supervise as first supervisor. And then the research projects that I'm leading are currently running in Egypt, European Union, India, Kenya, and USA. Now, to give an idea about the solar thermal concentrators, or the solar concentrators that we develop in Brunel, our focus is for developing systems which are least complex in terms of they do not require or require minimum solar tracking, and still they are able to deliver at the annual level and higher optical efficiency of about 70% or greater. And because these are able to have high optical efficiency as well as do not require the tracking of sun, so these are low concentrating systems, and such that they can easily harness not only direct light but diffuse light as well. I'm not going into detail, don't want to bore people, but still these two aspects are very important, especially if you look at the weather conditions in India, especially north of India. When it gets to the cold season as well as the rainy season, you get a huge amount of diffuse light, as well as you got and also the lower temperatures as well in the ambient. So there we have developed systems. For example, the one shown on the right hand side top here is a very innovative receiver tube which has no metallic components, reducing the overall radiative and conductive losses from the solar concentrators, and also developing a nanofluid shown here at the bottom of the screen in the pictures. This nanofluid allows us to directly absorb sun, then reduces the radiative losses as well. And additionally, we've shown the system is able to achieve already more than 130 degrees centigrades, or is able to produce more than 20% of power with the comparative systems. And
your
also
slides
we've
are
developed.
not changing.
Also,
your slides are not changing. It's showing the first slide.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what's happening. Is this something on your computer or it's my computer? I can see on my computer they are changing okay. What about now? Is it working?
Not yet, sir.
Sorry, is it working now?
No, sir.
It
is still at slide number 1.
Sir, you have to reshare. I'm just taking this privilege, and you can just reshare and it will work. Just give me.
Okay, no problem. I'll do that.
Yeah.
No issues. Yeah. Okay.
Now you can please try, sir. It will work.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
No problem. Well, my apologies for this, but I don't think it's my mistake though. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Can you see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So just I'll whirlwind through it in 1 minute. So what I've got is an overview on my research in Brunel, and the research focuses on concentrating solar technologies, as you can see on the right hand side pictures, which are photovoltaics as well as solar thermal systems, and also the advanced thermal insulation shown on the left hand side picture. We've published several papers in this area over the last 3 years. The research projects have been funded by various agencies within the UK and Europe, as well as global industry. Total funding I have currently is about more than £25 million, whereby the research team I'm leading in the Brunel comprises of 12 members. And then also the research is being delivered in various countries, including Kenya, Egypt, India, USA, and so on. The systems that we've developed in Brunel are low concentrating systems. So then by doing so, what we've done is we've allowed systems to be run at higher optical efficiency of more than 70% with minimum solar tracking or no solar tracking required. In addition, the systems that we've developed also use directly absorbing nanofluids, minimizing the radiative as well as conductive losses. And we've shown that the systems are able to deliver temperatures in the excess of 130 degrees already. And now we're developing system in Brunel that you can see here on the screen as well, which is able to deliver temperatures in the excess of 180 degrees centigrades. And then we've developed systems in Brunel which are also for thermal storage using sugar alcohols as well as the lauric acid using sugar alcohols and lauric acid as medium for storing heat. And also the systems are vacuum insulated. Now, to give you a quick idea about 4 projects that we're doing. The first project is for Kenyan tea industry, whereby the partner is Kenya Tea Development Agency, which owns 70 tea factories in Kenya. It's the largest exporter in the world of teas anywhere, right? And then for this, we're developing a system which is delivering heat at 180 degrees. Also, on another project, which is again running in Kenya, we're developing a solar heat-driven cold storage system. In this, the solar collectors will be delivering heat in the excess of 250 degrees. And another project which is running in India, whose acronym is Sunrise, the name is quite a mouthful, whereby we have IIT Delhi, Kanpur, Bombay, IISc Bangalore, and Tata Clean Tech Capital as partners, is also running very successfully, and also was recently awarded the Collaboration of the Year award by the Times Award organization in the UK. Then finally, the last project I want to mention which is running in collaboration with Egypt, whereby we're developing solar technologies which are delivering heat at 120 degrees to run a vapor absorption air conditioner for buildings in Egypt. Where here the partner is the National Research Institute of Astronomy and Geophysics. The photographs show various pictures taken at the various stages of the projects. The first one on the top being our picture taken last year in January in IISc Bangalore, where the Sunrise project meeting was happening. Now, to give an idea quickly on vacuum insulation panels, because this is something, a research which we are very proud of in Brunel.
1 minute left.
Thank you. We were able to deliver using this research in insulation, which can produce thermal insulation with a thermal conductivity of less than 2 to 5 milliwatt in SI units. And if you want to compare it against any conventional insulation used anywhere in the world, this will be from 10 to 20 times better. And then the benefit of this is that we're proposing its use either in fridges, for example, millions of which are sold everywhere in the world. And by using this insulation in the fridges, you get twofold benefits. One is the benefit of reducing the space saved, as well as or in terms of walls and doors, or you then increasing the inner volume, as well as you reducing the amount of heat that you need to spell away by using a compressor. In terms of what that means is that you're using less electricity. Similarly, the insulation can be used for buildings as well, where you're saving a huge amount of carbon emissions, which is a huge issue nowadays around the world. And before I finish my presentation, I want to mention to you the International Vacuum Insulation Symposium happening in Brunel in September 2021, 16 and 17 September, where I'll be sharing the seminar, and you're very welcome to check on our website and then find ways to participate. Send us an email and we'll propose you how could you participate. Thank you very much. Before I go, this is the team I work with. I said the 12 members, and I will name them. There is no time, but at some other stage, hopefully they'll all be introducing to you one by one at some stage. Thank you very much. Thanks.
So thank you, Dr. Harjit. And due to the constraint of time, there are so many questions posed by the participants to you, but we will not take it up because of the time constraint.
My apologies. Yes.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. So should I resume my duties of anchor person then?
Yes, yes. You can continue.
Okay. Thank you very much. Then and then I'm going to invite now Professor Virendra Kumar Vijay, who is the national coordinator of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan and is a professor in IIT Delhi, to present his research to us. Thank you very much. Virendra, it's up to you.
Yeah. So, as suggested by Dr. Harjit, I am not going to present my research, but I am going to present the country's view that how supporting energy security of India through bioenergy. So that is the question close to my heart. That is the point at which we all are working. And you can see, this presentation is visible to everyone? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is visible. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Can you go to the slideshow mode?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see the background of Mahatma Gandhi. You can visualize his vision that how the whole world can become and mitigate the climate change through his policies. And what policies we are talking about? that how utilizing the locally available resources, locally available bioenergy and other resources, we can propagate energy systems. And that's what I will be talking about and giving a one or two small videos which show that how we can achieve that to minimize the climate change, to minimize the greenhouse gas emissions, to minimize the whole control of the system. And this is the vision he has given in 1942, Gram Swaraj, how we can make our villages self-land, how we can make our cities self-land, how we can make our country self-land. And that what we are talking now today, Atmanirbhar Bharat after COVID-19. So the whole global paradigm is changing and we have to reinvent the whole story. And yeah, so recently, day before, the Energy Swaraj Yatra organized by Professor Chetan Solanki, who is the professor in IIT Bombay, and he is on tour for 10 years in this solar bus. And his movement is that how we can get Energy Swaraj, self-reliant in energy at every level, through solar energy, through bioenergy, through all locally available resources. And in that site, my biogas car is there. We are collecting 200 household kitchen waste, putting into a biogas digester, producing biogas, upgrading it and filling in my car. And that is the only car in the country which has run more than 90,000 kilometers on biogas in last 9 years. So you can see how we can have energy self-reliance, Urja Swaraj. So that is more important than the topic we are discussing and we are developing. So I will little bit cover that the aspect of solar assisted biogas plant in project. So before that, I am just mentioning here that India has large potential of renewable energy sector. 90 gigawatt is already achieved. There is target of 500 gigawatt of renewable energy by 2030. And in last 5 years only, we have crossed 226% increase in our renewable energy capacity over the last 5 years. You can see the potential of solar, 750 gigawatt, wind, 102 gigawatt, biomass, 28 gigawatt, and even small hydro, 20 gigawatt, and many more. So this is a just glimpse of our renewable energy achievement and the targets. But coming to the back on bioenergy, since human being started socializing, bioenergy started using. The first ignition was also from bioenergy at that time, and we have largest cattle population in the world. We have about 150 million tons of surplus agro residues, and still 70% of households are requiring biomass for their many cooking energy requirements and others. So India has launched a Ujjwala scheme in which we are providing free LPG cylinders, free LPG connection to the household. And in last 7 years, more than 70 million LPG connections have been provided in villages. But to my understanding, to the Gram Swaraj, to Atmanirbhar Bharat, still it is not sufficient because many of these are not refilling their cylinders because they are not able to afford that. Therefore, it is very important that how things can become sustainable. What are the things which can really pave a way in the development of the society, in the economics of the society, and in that context, bioenergy is having very important role. So out of this 70 million LPG connection to the rural households, majority of them are not getting them refilled because they cannot afford it. And we are importing LPG from outside. So the sustainable solution is that we develop a system through which we are able to provide energy solutions utilizing the locally available resources. So in IIT Delhi, we are lucky enough that we are having 7 acres of land. We call it Gramoday Parisar, our Center for Rural Development and Technology.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Please turn on your video, please. Because your video is not visible.
My slides are visible?
Yes, slides are visible, sir, but your video is off. So please.
So it is coming. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
After one or two slides, it will come. Yeah. So there is a large number of biomass and trees in the campus, and we are collecting their biomass, we are collecting their seeds and generating oil, non-edible oil from that, and that non-edible oil cake we are putting into biogas plant, producing biogas. Oil we are transforming it into biodiesel and running 5 and 10 kilowatt engines, and we are producing electricity. So using all these things, we are making some alternative solutions in our laboratory, and that we are making them self-reliant energy systems, utilizing biogas, producer gas, and producing electricity. We are running our car on that, and this is a video of a biogas production from kitchen households. So there are from 200 households, we are collecting the kitchen waste, pulverizing it, and you can see a 25 cubic meter biogas plant in our Gramade Parsar. And after pulverization, we are putting it, sorry, just a minute. So there is seasonal variation and there is other variation in the kitchen waste. So how we can copy it in the biogas plant? Because during winter season, temperature goes down, production goes down. That's why this UKIERI project we have chosen, and now we are collaborating with the Brunel University that how we can enhance biogas production utilizing the solar energy, solar assisted biogas plant. And in India, we are having more than 5 million biogas plants installed in villages. So we can take care that during winter season, during when gas production goes down, we can enhance gas production utilizing solar energy. So solar assisted biogas plant we are developing in this UKIERI project now. And this is biogas we are upgrading. This is our biogas laboratory in IIT Delhi, and there is a water scrubbing. This blue column is the water scrubber. From bottom we are passing gas, from top we are spraying water. There is a packing material inside. We are maintaining 10 bar pressure in this column. So carbon dioxide is physically dissolved in water, comes out from the bottom. Purified gas, methane, comes out from the top, and we are collecting it. We are drying it, and we are removing hydrogen sulfide. Automatically goes through water, and there is no hydrogen sulfide in it. It is dried, and then we are utilizing high pressure compressor.
1 minute left.
Yeah, so high pressure compressor we are filling into this car, and this car is running in last 9 years. It has crossed more than 90,000 kilometers, and we are measuring its emissions and its engine performance, etc., etc. So this is one more 2 minutes video I would like to show, and then I will close. This is a village in Punjab, in Hoshiarpur district, and there is a cooperative society. It is collecting cow dung from every household, putting into a cooperative biogas plant located in the village, and then gas is distributed through pipeline to every household. So there is a mobile app. This is a weighing machine put up on this tractor trolley. So how much cow dung is contributed every day by which family is noted down and recorded through a mobile app. And this special cow dung collector tank has been designed by the local people, and this whole cow dung is put up on a biogas plant. You will see how. You see, automatically cow dung goes in the biogas plant, and then it is thoroughly mixed utilizing water and pump, and then it goes inside. Sorry. And gas is produced, and then gas is distributed to the whole village. There are 70 families residing in this, and they are using biogas for their cooking application. No LPG, no import any petroleum fuel. and the slurry is distributed through this special tanker. So this is the show that how this locally available resources can be utilized for energy purpose, for vehicle, for replacement of diesel, petrol, and also replacement of your chemical fertilizers, DAP and urea. So with this, I would like to close here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Virender. I hope people can hear me okay. I must apologize for all audience and speakers that we're running about 15 minutes late. But still, I would like to ask a quick question from you, Virender, because it's very relevant. And this question is on how could Unnat Bharat Abhiyan encourage people so that more and more could join and benefit from the biotechnologies that you're developing and our project will develop?
Yeah, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan is a program of Ministry of Education, Government of India, that every educational institute has to adopt a cluster of 4 or 5.
Sir, please unmute your video, sir, please.
Hello.
Sir, please unmute your video. Your video is not visible to us.
Which one?
Your video, sir. Please turn on your video. You are muted from your system.
Virender, on the bottom of the screen, it says start video or stop video. If you click on that.
I have stop video. Start video.
Yeah, stop video, and then on the bottom of the screen there is a button which says stop video or start video. Can you?
There is no such.
Rahul, can you help him, please, quickly? It will be nice to have him on screen actually while he's speaking.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. Carry on, Virender. Please carry on. It's okay.
Okay. So then. In India, we are having about 2,800 colleges working with Unnat Bharat Abhiyan along with me, and we have nearly 15,000 villages across the country. And in the next 5 years, we will be having about 40,000 colleges with all 2.5 lakh villages, and their students and faculty members will be contributing in the village development. And we are promoting that how we can have sustainable energy supply system in these villages utilizing the locally available resources.
Thank you very much, Virender. And I'm sure audience can catch up with you outside this seminar if there is a counter question or further questions. Thank you again. And now I'm going to invite the next speaker, Dr. Ramchandra, who is an assistant professor at IIT Delhi and also is an expert in biogas energy systems. Ram, the floor is yours.
Yeah. So very good morning to UK participant and good afternoon to Indian participant. So let me share, I will talk about the thermophilic anaerobic digester, which is the 50% part of this project and important. Why we have gone for the this thermophilic anaerobic digester. So see, most of all you may have seen the biogas plant. Okay, there are many designs. So this is one of the biogas plant which is very popular in India. So normally in India, biogas plants are operated on mesophilic temperature conditions. Mesophilic, actually there are 3 categories we will see later. So by application of thermophilic means when the temperature is high, then what are the impact of that temperature that causes rapid biogas production and good minimization of the waste materials. Means the whatever the matter is there, that mass is reduced at a higher percentage. Suppose it is more than 90% of the material is converted into the energy. Okay. So, so the process requires certain parameters. Okay, like it is here, temperature. Okay, so on the basis of the temperature, that process is designed for either cyclophilic, mesophilic, or thermophilic, and thermophilic is the part of this project. Apart from the temperature, temperature is very important. Apart from the temperature, there are other factors like loading rate, how much material is to be loaded in a particular capacity of the reactor, means the concentration of the volatile matter in the blood. Then hydraulic retention time, for how long the material is retained in the digester. Of course, the nature of material, like nature of materials means like some materials are highly degradable, some materials are difficult to degrade, like residue, and of course the carbon to nitrogen ratio. So let us come to the main thing. Okay. So we can see here the three temperature ranges are they are named as hydrophilic, mesophilic, and thermophilic. Okay. So here we can see that the temperature is around 37. So I can say from 20 to 40 degrees centigrade, this temperature. The gas production is quite good, okay, moderate. Although it requires hydrogen time for a longer period, suppose it 30 days or 40 days period, okay. But in case of thermophilic digester, the conversion rate is high. You can see here the temperature 55 degrees centigrade. So I can just say that the range is 45 to 60 degrees centigrade. Okay. So just do remember the temperature. Okay. Here the temperature is 37. Here is 55. So because of the rise in the temperature or operating temperature, so the material is hydrolyzed at a faster rate because as soon as you increase the temperature, the solubility of a particular material is increased. Okay. So taking advantage of that rapid hydrolysis, this reactor could be designed. But remember that the because of the high temperature, the microbes may die. So there are some specific category of microbes, thermophilic AD microbes, they are called. There are 3-4 type of microbes who can sustain this temperature. Okay. However, in case of mesophilic reactor, there are more than 300 types of species and they are surviving within this temperature zone. Okay. So see what happens when the temperature is high, means my reactor is under thermophilic condition. So hydrolysis is very fast. Okay. This is the process. So I'm taking this. Hydrolysis is very fast because of the improved temperature. Okay. So acids are produced rapidly. You can say otherwise the time required for the hydrolysis or the entire process is reduced. Okay. Suppose here, in case of here, if I can say hydraulic retention time is 30 days, here it could be just in 20 days, I will digest most of my materials, say 95% of the materials are degraded or converted into the biogas. Okay. So this is the hydrolysis. It will help a rapid, okay, faster rate due to temperature. So similarly here also the acids are converted into then methane. Okay. The rate of methane production is also high because the bacteria, although their number is number means number of species are lower, but their metabolic rate is significantly high compared to mesophilic temperature. Okay. So the conversion is faster. Okay. So what are the benefit of operation? Suppose I'm operating thermometer at 55 degrees centigrade in this project. The short degradation time means my time will be maximum 20 days instead of 30 or 40 days. That happens in conventional reactor. Good reduction of pathogen because of the high temperature. The pathogens are killed, and of course the high gas production will be there. It is around 30% more than the mesophilic conditions. Okay. So crude sludge separation because of the high temperature means that most of the materials, volatile materials, have been degraded into the gas. That's why the sludge separation is good. Only the thing is negative things of this process is because of the high temperature and the species are very few in the reactor. Hydrolysis is fast. if there is any deviation in the incoming material or rise or fall of the reactor, the process may be failed. Okay, so that's why it is said here more difficult to control. Otherwise, this is available. So these reactors requires special attention to operate. So here, this is of course Professor Vijay has shown in the form of video. So there are this kitchen-based being utilized to produce biogas for power generation and regular operation. So that reactor is operating under mesoscale condition. I'm not going into detail. You have already shown in the seen in the video. So I will come to the point. Okay. So this is mesophilic. Okay. Suppose this reactor is operating on the thermophilic condition at 55 degrees centigrade. So here the methane could be 65%. Here you can see it is 50 to 55% only, but that reactor it could go up to 65%. This is the volume. The productivity here, the methane per kg kitchen waste or per kg TS or per kg VS, this may be, suppose it will go around here. Okay. So here, this is called efficiency of the system. Okay, so it means 65% of the materials means the volatile matter have been converted into the biogas. Okay. So do remember that around 40% of the material, 40% of the input will come out in the form of digestate. Okay. So we can say that 60% volume has been reduced. Okay. But if the reactor is thermophilic, then this could this efficiency would be at 90%. Okay. Within a reduced time period. Just compare with the 40% of the final volume and now the only 10% of the final volume.
1 minute left.
Yeah, I'm ending. Okay. So that is the advantage of thermophilic operation. That's all about it. There are many things, but I cannot say within.
Thank you very much, Ram, for finishing in time. Actually, really, that's great. But before you go, I have a quick question for you, asked by one of the audience here. They want to know what are the uses of byproducts such as digestate that comes out of the plant?
See, sir, the digestate is very important part of our human or earth ecosystem, because the digestate means the fixed carbon plus whatever minerals and nutrients are there, because they are primarily coming from the plant material. Okay. And digestate supposed to be recycled back to the soil in order to maintain the soil health and ecological balance. Because nowadays we are seeing the negative impact of the food chain contamination. Okay, because of the excessive use of chemical fertilizer, like well. So it is very good manure and for the good food quality.
Thank you very much, Ram. Thanks for your time and valuable insights into the thermophilic system. Now I'm going to invite the next speaker, Dr. Suresh, who has been my long-standing partner in research, which is on solar energy technologies. He comes from National Institute of Technology in Trichy and is an associate professor there as a top expert in solar thermal storage systems. Suresh, if you are there,
yes,
could you please take over from me?
Thank you, Harjit. Thanks for.
Thanks, Suresh. Yeah. Could you start your video, Suresh, so we can see you as well while you speak?
Yes. My God. Harjit, can you able to see my presentation?
Yes, we can see your presentation. No problem.
Okay. I think some issue with to open this video.
No problem. Please go to the slideshow and start your presentation. That's okay.
Okay. Can you see that presentation, and can you see that my presentations are moving?
It's not moving at this stage. It's moving. Yes, that's okay.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for a nice intro, and thanks for the opportunity. Actually, I'm working on phase change materials, the solid phase change material, not solid liquid phase change materials. This thermal energy, the moment energy storage, everything which comes to mind is battery. As such, this thermal energy also most important for to fill the gap between the available and the solar energy when you take, it is available daytime, and nighttime it is not available. So we need to fill the gap where we need this thermal energy storage system. And so there are many researchers, they are working in solid liquid phase change material, and we are mainly focusing on solid, and we have achieved the many number of cycles as well, that is number of thermal cycles. The moment we say phase change materials, that name itself we can understand there is a change of phase from solid to liquid or liquid to solid. For this case, which is no change of phase from solid to liquid and liquid to solid, which is the crystalline structural changes from the crystalline to amorphous. Maybe we can see that a few of the structural changes example. So this is the brief intro about that solid PCM. Before I move to this, the technical part, there are a few facilities available at NIT Tiruchirappalli at an nanotechnology research lab, where we can see it start from thermal conductivity, DSC, STA, rheometer, forced tensiometer, FTIR, UV-vis spectrophotometer, where so most of the equipment recently we purchased, that we have inaugurated this energy harvesting center for different purpose. And as well, there are some experimental test rig which also available to measure thermal conductivity and pool boiling apparatus, and that is thermal management application, as well parallelly few coating equipments also available. And there another, the rightmost corner, you can see that the few research which is ongoing in NIT Tiruchirappalli, particularly in nanotechnology research lab. And as such, I need not define what is phase change material, which is store higher energy when compared with the sensible heat storage, and some of the salient features of this PCM, which has high phase change enthalpy and other things. When you look at this, the classification of thermal energy storage system, there are many. Basically, it is a physical and chemical, where we are focusing on physical energy storage. And in particular, we are focusing on solid. As well, we are working on solid liquid, but we found that to overcome some of the issues which is associated with the solid liquid PCM by these solid phase change materials. And this is the selection criteria for phase change material. Let's see that the phase change temperature and latent heat enthalpy, thermal conductivity, and so that we classified into thermal properties, chemical properties, and economic consideration. Based on the previous presentation by Professor Ram, as he said that the thermophilic bacteria, thermophilic temperature, which gives a better effect for these biodigesters, so that desired temperature is 55 degrees centigrade. So that project also we focus on 55 degree, where the phase change temperature is desired at 55 degrees centigrade. So one of the selection important criteria for selecting these phase change material is phase change temperature. And let's move to that, the comparison of the solid liquid PCM and the solid PCM. The solid liquid is in general when you apply, when you take ice, when you apply the heat where it melts, it absorbs the heat. And when you recover the heat, or when you release the heat, the crystallization occurs, change of phase from the liquid to solid. At the same time, when you look at the solid PCM, the structure or the mechanism of the solid exchange material, there is no change in the phase of solid to liquid. There is structural changes from crystalline to amorphous. It's quite interesting when you look at this, the structure or the mechanism, where you can see this is a sandwich material like hydrocarbon and inorganic together, and which form this solid, and when it absorbs the heat, we change from the crystalline to amorphous. It's the sandwich. When you look at, it's a combination of inorganic and the hydrocarbons. When that the material which absorbs the heat, which convert become the hydrocarbons will become disordered. When it release the heat, it will become again the ordered one. By the way, that the heat is stored. So when you look at here, the structural, the hydrocarbon disordered, we can see it in the amorphous phase. Where we are focusing on by altering the length of the hydrocarbons as well the changing the width of the hydrocarbons. By the way, we can increasing the energy storage as well alter the phase transition temperature. So this overall which gives the better view for the different application increase in energy storage. So when you look at that, the solid PCMs are three different types. Basically, when you look at organometallic, polyols, and polymeric, and especially in polyols, some of the PCMs are readily available where we can take desired temperature like neobenzyl, but organometallic and polymeric, we need to synthesize that for a desired temperature. So where organometallic, there is a standard formula available. We can see that NCnH2n plus 1, NH3 2, MCl4, where we can vary this N, which represents the number of carbon atoms, and M, which represents the transition metals. So we can select that M, which is the transition metals from this. You can select any one of that based on your desired temperature as well the number of carbon atoms. As well, we can do polymeric. Polymeric also we are synthesizing for any desired temperature. We can see that the method adopted for synthesizing this. So basically, organometallic and polymeric we can synthesize, and polyol few which is directly available. And this is the method which adopted for organometallic, which is called a liquid phase reaction method. And one of the significant point which I like to mention here is where the synthesized material which will stand up to 10,000 thermocycle equals to 25 years. So apart from that, the selection of from the PCM, three different methods based on the phase transition temperature. I'm just proud to say that even after 10,000 cycle, the material which maintain the equal pure PCM energy storage capacity. So similar like the preparation of polymeric solid phase change material, the idea became that very simple technique which we follow for synthesis to reduce the reduce the cost, because the cost is one of the major criteria, the economic, so that we are focusing on simple method adopted to synthesize. So we are as well, we have adopted for another the solvent evaporation method for synthesis of polyol solid phase change material. And to enhance thermal conductivity, we added the nanoparticle. As such, when you add nanoparticle, that reduces the amount of energy storage capacity. In order to avoid that, we have gone for the liquid metal alloys. So that liquid metal alloys also participate, not only enhance the thermal conductivity, that also enhance the latent heat enthalpy. When you look at, when you compare addition of nanoparticle and addition of the nano liquid metal alloys, where the nanoparticle increasing thermal conductivity at the same time, which reduce the thermal energy storage. At the same time, when you add nano liquid metal alloys, it increases thermal conductivity as well the enthalpy of the materials. So we can see that some of the results which is the obtained even after the 10,000 cycle. Every 1,000 cycle we run the we take the DSC curve, where you can see that the pure solid PCM, and after 10,000 cycle, not much variation in the energy storage capacity that we can see it.
2 minutes left.
Yeah, just I'm completing. So societal impact are for different applications. We are focusing on mainly on thermal management in the electronic system, as well as for building application and automobile and solar PV. As well for green building, passive cooling, we are working on that phase with the help of solid phase change material, and some schematic diagram of the heat sink with PCM. So thank you very much for the great opportunity. Thanks, Harjit.
Thanks, Suresh, for finishing in time. And sorry about this, that we have to keep the time windows very tight for everyone.
True.
I just a quick question actually before you go. How do you think this thermal storage, you research into solid phase change thermal storage systems will help the development of these thermophilic systems that the project is developing?
Yes, basically this system which we proposed is 55-degree thermophilic, that is solar assisted one. Basically, when the solid passage material, especially which we synthesize organometallic, which can withstand up to 10,000 cycles, that means 25 years. When you adopt this, it continuously day and night, which deliver constant temperature to the system, that helps to enhance the performance of the bioreactors. As Ram said, 55 degree constantly deliver that bacteria are very active.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Suresh. I hope audience will have got the answer which they were looking for.
Thank you.
And now I'm going to invite the next speaker, the Dr. Anurag Pramanik, who is my colleague in Brunel University and is a research fellow on the project COSTARMSW, which is organizing this seminar here. Dr. Pramanik is an expert in nanofluids, and her talk is focused on nanofluids, which we've been specifically developing for this project. Anurag, off to you, please.
Thank you for the introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Anurag. Today, I will give a brief overview on my research on nanofluids for advanced solar energy systems. This work is a part of the COSTARMSW project. I will begin my talk by describing what is nanofluid. Nanofluid is a suspension of nanoparticles ranging between 1 to 100 nanometer in a base fluid. The figure on the top is showing the transmittance, which is how much solar radiation is transmitted, versus wavelength plot of a sample of ethylene glycol, which is our base fluid. You can notice that the transmittance is close to 100% for majority of the wavelengths in the near infrared and visible range, which contains majority of the solar radiation. A high transmittance in this range indicates that almost all the light that is incident on this base fluid is transmitted and very little is absorbed. The second figure shows the transmittance of the nanofluid with carbon nanoparticles. We can notice a very low transmittance indicating high absorption capacity by the nanofluid in the desired wavelength region. Since these nanofluids can effectively absorb almost all the sunlight in the desired wavelength region, they have a potential to be used for solar thermal applications. To understand how we can use nanofluids, I will give a brief background on solar thermal concentrator, or STC in short, and their design. Conventionally, there is an absorber tube which can be made of metal, and the fluid which is supposed to be heated is passed through it. The incident intensity is concentrated using various designs of mirrors, which then heats the tube, and finally the fluid inside the tube. Traditional STC have several drawbacks, and this is to do with heat transfer. The fluid directly in contact with the tube surface heats up, and the heat transfer in the rest of the fluid occurs via convection, which can be slow. The radiative heat loss from the metal absorber tube is also high. We want to overcome this challenge, and we are proposing to replace the metal tube with a glass evacuated receiver tube. The nanofluid is passed through this glass absorber tube, and the solar energy is directly absorbed by the nanofluid. Additionally, due to the glass evacuated system, the radiative heat loss to the surrounding is minimized and the conductive losses are zero. And hence, a higher efficiency can be achieved for heat transfer applications. Next, I will discuss a bit more about the specific application in the context of COSTARMSW project. The main component is the thermophilic anaerobic reactor, which operates at 55 degrees Celsius and transforms the biomass to bioenergy. This is done by using thermophilic anaerobic bacteria and municipal solid waste. Since this is a thermophilic system, the reactor has to be maintained at higher temperature and this heat is provided by nanofluid-based solar thermal concentrator. So my research is to optimize nanofluid composition and test nanofluid properties to maximize solar energy capture. I'll share some of my findings in the next few slides. In order to use nanofluids in an efficient manner, it is important to use the right concentration of nanoparticle so that the solar energy is absorbed efficiently. Here, I have plotted the average transmittance as a function of concentration. Increasing the concentration of nanoparticles leads to a decrease in transmittance and hence higher solar absorptivity. Therefore, the nanofluid properties can be tuned accordingly to our requirements by simply changing the nanoparticle concentration in a predictive manner. So there are few challenges with using nanofluids. The most important one for our application is stability of nanofluid suspension. In the above figure, we see when the nanofluid is freshly prepared, the transmittance of the nanofluid is very low, which can be seen from the orange curve. When this sample is kept undisturbed for 3 days, we find a 15% increase in the transmittance and hence reduction in solar absorption. Shown below are the photos of the same sample when freshly prepared and after 3 days. Since this can impact the performance, we have optimized conditions to improve the stability of nanofluid. So we have studied the effect of sonication duration and stirring on nanofluid properties, on the nanofluid.
1 minute left.
Okay, nanofluid stability. The outline of these experiments is shown here. We have measured the optical properties of the nanofluid at different times following the synthesis of nanofluid. So here is a transmittance versus wavelength plot of nanofluid sonicated for different durations. We observed that increasing the sonication duration from 30 minutes to 60 minutes leads to lower transmittance and higher solar absorptivity of the same nanoparticle concentration. And we have observed that increasing the sonication duration further doesn't really impact, hence 60 minutes is an optimal time for sonication during nanofluid synthesis. We then wanted to see the effect of stirring on nanofluid stability. Shown here are the transmittance versus wavelength plots for nanofluid sample at different durations starting from day 0 to day 7. We found that indeed, even after 7 days, the transmittance remains similar to freshly prepared samples, and hence stirring could maintain the nanofluid stability for longer duration. In summary, we have shown that nanoparticle concentration can be used to tune the optical properties of nanofluid. We have observed that synthesis conditions can influence the optical properties of nanofluid. And finally, stirring can help in preserving the optical properties of nanofluid for longer durations. And these results have significant implications and will help us in achieving our goal of delivering a robust 100% solar heat run thermophilic biogas reactor by integrating it with solar thermal concentrator and heat storage. Finally, funding for this project was provided by UKIERI and DST Government of India, and shown here are some pictures of the project members as well as equipment and materials at Brunel and at IIT Delhi. Thank you everyone for your attention.
Thank you very much, Anurag, and sorry to truncate using the solar technology terminology, your presentation. But before you go, we have a quick question for you. Do you see any challenge in using nanofluid-based solar collectors in rural India?
There are a few challenges with using nanofluid-based solar technologies. Firstly, as I mentioned, long-term stability is a main challenge. We know how to overcome that simply by stirring, and that can maintain the stability of the nanofluid. And second challenge, which I can think of, is storage and handling of the handling. And we have also identified ways to transport the nanofluid safely and then handling it with care. And these challenges can be easily overcome, and benefits on efficiency are very good.
Thank you. Thanks, Anurag. With this, I'm going to invite the next speaker, who is Dr. Rimika Kapoor, who's a research fellow at Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. And her presentation is on biogas upgradation and compressed biogas program in India. Rimika, if you can hear me, please take over the scene. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Harjit. Thank you so much for introducing me. And to start, before I start, I want to apologize because I won't be able to switch on my video because I'm in a low bandwidth area. So I request Rahul, please help me in updating the slides. So I'll give a brief introduction and my research, which I conducted in IIT Delhi on biogas upgradation and the compressed biogas program in India. So as we can see in the first slide, here are the applications of compressed biogas. Like we can use it in vehicles for as a transport fuel, as well as for cooking, as well as for electricity production. Rahul, next please. So we all know that biogas can be produced from different types of organic waste, and it can be used as in for power production as for heat and electricity production. But if we want to augment the applications of biogas, we need to separate the CO2 and other impurities, for example, hydrogen sulfide and moisture from biogas to upgrade it to a high quality fuel, commonly known as biomethane. And in India, it is called compressed biogas. Now, next, please. Yeah, so Rahul, next, please. Yeah, so Rahul, can you please switch on the next slide? Yes. So we all know that biogas can be used as an alternate to natural gas by removing the carbon dioxide content. So when we remove the carbon dioxide content from biogas, it becomes equivalent to the natural gas, and it can be easily substituted as a substitute to natural gas. So Rahul, next please. And the calorific value becomes equivalent to the natural gas. So raw biogas is a low-grade fuel with the calorific value of approximately 21 megajoules per meter cube. And when we remove the carbon dioxide, which is not adding to any calorific value, it is just occupying the space of the storage vessel. So we upgrade the calorific value to around 4 to 45 megajoules per meter cube. And when we do this, we are increasing the calorific value, so we can easily use it for applications, for example, in vehicles as well as for cooking. Rahul, next please. So upgrading is a gas separation problem where we are removing the CO2, water vapor and hydrogen sulfide, and we are producing biomethane from the biogas. Now next, and there are different types of biogas upgrading technologies which are commonly available in the biogas upgrading market. So and these technologies are based on absorption, adsorption, membrane separation and cryogenic separation. So generally what happens in all these technologies, from one end we give biogas as the input gas stream, and from the other end we get two major gas streams where we get upgraded biogas from as a primary gas stream, and the effluent gas stream or the secondary gas stream or a byproduct if we which is CO2 rich, which can be further processed to produce bio CO2. Rahul, next please. So these are the different techniques for biogas cleaning or upgrading based on absorption, adsorption, membrane and cryogenic, and these can be further divided or classified as per the solvent or the thermochemical process used. So Rahul, next please. So when we decide on to which technology which we have to use, it depends upon the quality of the biomethane which we require, and the scale and the scale and the applications of the biomethane. So this is a basic process outlay of the water scrubbing process for biogas upgradation. And here, this I will explain later in the upcoming slides, because this is a technology which we are using in IIT Delhi. So this technology uses water as a solvent, and there is no requirement of chemical in this technology. So I'll come to this technology later in the upcoming slides. Rahul, next please. This is a chemical process for biogas upgradation where we use the chemical, for example, monoethanolamine or diethanolamine for separating CO2 from biogas to produce biomethane. So this process produces very high quality of biomethane with almost negligible methane losses. But because it requires chemical usage, it is not environment friendly, as well as when we need to regenerate the chemical, it requires a lot of heat and electricity consumption. Rahul, next please. Yeah, this technology, this is the pressure swing adsorption process for biogas upgradation, in where we use different levels of pressure for removing the CO2 content from biogas. Like for example, we first pressurize the gas to 7 to 8 bars, then we depressurize the gas, and then we further depressurize the gas to below vacuum levels to separate biomethane, biogas from CO2. But this technology results in high methane losses, and the quality of biomethane which is obtained from this technology is high, but the recovery percentage is very low. Next please, Rahul. This is a membrane separation process. So this is very upcoming process for biogas upgrading, and it is picking up in the biogas upgrading market. It is based on the separation of CO2 from other gaseous components by using a membrane.
1 minute left.
Okay, so I'll just quickly, Rahul please, next please. So there in IIT Delhi, we are using, next Rahul, we are using the water scrubbing technology. Next. Next, please. Next, please. So this is the water scrubbing technology based on biomethane and bio-CO2 production, where we use water as a solvent to separate CO2. So we are using high pressures of around 8 to 12 bar to pressurize the biogas, and because the solubility of CO2 increases with the high pressures, so we remove CO2 as well as H2S from the biogas to produce biomethane. So from one end, now next please, I have to show the diagram. This is the water scrubbing based biomethane bio-CO2 production. These are the two water scrubbing columns there in the biogas plant. So from the water scrubbing column 1, we get the biomethane, and the second column we get the bio-CO2. So this is a twin column system from where we are putting biogas from one end, and from the other end of this complete system we are getting two purified gases, one in the form of biomethane and other in the form of bio-CO2. So this is a patented technology now, and the major value proposition of this technology is that the overall methane loss of the system is less than 1%. So it increases the economics of the plant, as well as it increases the recovery of the high calorific value gas, that is biomethane. Rahul, next please. This is the biogas upgrading system at IIT Delhi. So this is a two-cylinder cascade system especially developed for rural applications. And this is a high-pressure compressor.
Sorry, Renuka, could you conclude, please?
Yeah, please. Rahul, please, next. So there are two supportive biogas programs by Government of India, where one is the Satat program and one is the Govardhan program. Rahul, next, please. Next. These are the applications of the biomethane and the bio CO2 for algae cultivation and for grain fumigation. And we can use it in greenhouses as well. Rahul, next, please. Next. This is the food waste to biogas plant in IIT Delhi, which Professor Vijay has already shown in his video. Rahul, next, please. Next. This is the water. This is a 25 meter cube per hour plant in IIT Delhi. So these are the supportive. Next, please. Supportive programs by the Government of India under Waste to Energy scheme. So subsidies from rupees 1 crore to 4 crores are being supported.
I'm sorry, you'd like to conclude here. We're running out of time.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Rimka. My apologies for this, but I must ask you to stop here. But so of course, the audience are welcome to contact you in case they might have a query or something. And in the interest of time, I'm not going to ask any queries, or there are some, but I'll pass them on to you by email, and you can please respond to them. Now, the next speaker I'm going to invite is Dr. David Redpath, who is my colleague in Brunel, and is an expert himself in solar thermal technologies. I'm going to talk about his research. David, after you, please. Remember, you got only 8 minutes.
Okay, don't worry. Yeah. I'll try not to speak too quickly.
Yeah.
That's good. Let's see. Oh. Hi, can everybody see the slides?
Yes.
Perfect. Let me start the slideshow. Okay. A brief introduction to my research. I'm aware we're on the pressure for time. And similar to my colleague Anurag, I'm looking at concentrating solar thermal technologies. Whereas while she's looking at the nanofluid end of things, I'm looking at how to develop systems and how to numerically model these, particularly using a piece of software called Transis. I've worked on this particular piece of research with my colleague, Dr. Jaya and also Dr. Harjit Singh, who I don't think needs any introduction. And these are our sponsors here: Newton Fund, Innovate UK, Global Challenges Research Fund, and this research is also being carried out with our partners in Egypt, who have a centre near Cairo, in Helwan. So really it's just a sort of an overview of the work here. I don't want to spend too much time on this as it's a shortened presentation. But really, our project, it consists of our team here within Brunel University. These are the PIs and the co-investigators, and the research fellow that's in charge of this. And this is alongside our Egyptian partners, Professor Ahmed Gaddis and Dr. Mohammed Sabri, who are based in Helwan. And the idea is that we're going to simulate the performance of a primary healthcare centre in Helwan in terms of its requirements for cooling and how we can meet those cooling requirements using solar vapor absorption systems rather than the conventional vapor compression systems. So really, this particular type of technology ties in with a lot of different, shall we say, aspirations, particularly with sustainable development. And I've highlighted here in yellow the main development goals of the UN that this particular technology is appropriate towards. And really sustainable cities, communities, and affordable and clean energy, because many cities suffer from a lot of particulate pollution, not only just noise as well too. We've got the problems as well of fossil fuel imports costing money from the revenue governments that quite often can't afford these. So adoption of solar-based cooling systems has quite a lot of things to offer society. My particular system here, it's going to be using Anurag's nanofluids, and we're going to be using 2 solar thermal concentrators and having a look at how well this system can perform at the climate here at Helwan in Egypt. We have a little test site. We've got this small shed, which will act as our simulated healthcare centre. We have an organic raglan cycle, an ORC on site as well too, which we hope to integrate with the system. So we want to have a completely off-grid primary healthcare centre, which we can provide with cooling, heating or electricity as required. And particularly in the times of coronavirus, having extra healthcare facilities is vital. So again, we're going to need to have a requirement for cooling. Some of these vaccines require temperatures of say maybe -70. So really now coming into the research, alongside my colleague Angelo, we simulated the heating and cooling demands of, let me see, our simulated primary healthcare centre, which we developed using information we collected from journal publications on typical construction of healthcare centres, typical, say, energy demands, which we derived from occupancy profiles, and then we used the weather data that's available within Transis to then sort of have a quick guesstimate on sizing of cooling system. And this is basically showing you the heating and cooling demands over the year, and also the temperature. This is the sort of our target temperature of the primary healthcare centre. Now, this was then developed into a much more complex model. As you can see, we have our solar absorption cell in the centre. This is our concentrating collector. And if you can, this small, tiny square here is clinic, but there's quite a lot of underlying code that's been used to develop this Type 56 model. So what impact does do these little figures have in the real world? Well, nobody as of yet, or the best of my knowledge, has simulated the real life performance of a building under these conditions for a primary healthcare centre. That information was hard to obtain. That's why we had to run the simulations ourselves. We found that an optimised solar concentrating system has an aperture area less, 32.7% lower than evacuated tube systems, which are conventionally used for cooling systems. And we reckon across Egypt, if we were able to supplant all the requirements for air conditioning at present, some 3.9 million tonnes of CO2 per year would be abated. And we've submitted this work recently to the Journal of Building Engineering, and we're hoping to hear back on some positive feedback. Just like to thank you for your attention. Hopefully I haven't run over time. Any questions?
This is excellent, actually, David. Well done. I can't believe it. You've done a great job here. Well, I have a quick question for you because we have time, and the question is this, but it's quite an interesting one, actually. When do you think solar energy could be brought in a usable form, and so that it's easily accessible to everyone on the earth, like water and air?
To be honest, I think really it actually could be pretty much available in countries such as Egypt and within Africa. I think presently it already is available. It just requires the political will, the policies and the supporting infrastructure to be in place for these technologies to be actually implemented. I mean, none of these are, like, shall we say, new exactly. We can buy these off the shelf, but the supporting policies such as like feed-in tariffs or even just the actual information on the ground to potential customers and users of such technologies, I mean, that this sort of information would be required to get these the uptake of these technologies promoted.
Thank you. Thanks, David. Now I'm going to thank you again, David, and I'm going to invite the last but not the least speaker, Mr. Tinku Casper De Silva, who is a research scholar at IIT Delhi. Tinku, off to you, please. You have 8 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the introduction.
Make it only 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. That thing you have to learn now.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, I am Tingu Casper De Silva, research scholar at IIT Delhi under the guidance of Professor V.K. Vijay and Dr. Ramchandra. My topic of discussion for today is on potential of organic fraction of municipal solid waste in India. This session will be a very short presentation covering the glimpses of current scenario of MSW generation in India and bioenergy recovery potential of its organic fraction. Finally, we will be seeing a case study depicting how IIT Delhi is managing its daily generated kitchen waste through pilot scale anaerobidization plant and how its experience will be taken for a full-scale AD plant. Urban India has recorded about 68.30 million tons per day of MSW generation during the year of 2020, in which 50% are organic waste, mainly composed of food waste and market waste. These values are expected to increase up to 400 million tons per day during the year 2050. When these values are classified into state-wise, the graph shows the top 10 states contributed hugely. The common method adopted for managing this waste are landfilling, which causes a huge burden on the environment with its GHG emissions and leachate percolation to the ground. These are some news articles published during last 2 years. Most of the landfills across the country have been saturated and are still operational, which is a concern. Recently, various research groups evaluated the bioenergy recovery potential of OFMSW generated in urban India. Considering one more such study, in India, there is a potential of around 11,000 million meter cube per day of methane that can be recovered from these waste. As said by Professor V.K. Vijay, there is a planned anaerobidization plant at IIT Delhi. Kitchen waste steady. Daily 250 kilogram per day of kitchen waste is being treated, and around 55% of biogas, 55% methane content is being produced in this biogas produced, and it is being enriched to up to 90% methane content. Those who are interested to more can take a look at these cited literatures. And there is a plan from the experience gathered from the pilot scale study to treat 4 tons of OFMSW that is being generated inside IIT Delhi campus to produce around 400 meter cube per day of biogas, which is equivalent to CBG potential of 187 kilogram per day. And that's it from this presentation, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for finishing so timely. With this, I have no questions from you, so hopefully that'll be a respite. Now, I'm going to invite Professor Vijay to say thanks to the speakers and thanks to the attendees and announce anything on his behalf.
Yeah, it was a great pleasure in proposing vote of thanks to the organizers and to everyone who has participated in such a wonderful seminar which we Brunel and IIT Delhi has organized during this COVID period. So you can understand the workshop or the seminar without spending a single rupee or single pound. We had managed such a nice seminar in which all the stakeholders were involved. The funder, the developer, the user, everyone. And you see from DST, from British Council, from DBT, from Brunel, from IIT, researchers, students, PhD scholars, and across the country, all the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan participants, they were live on YouTube and Facebook. So it gives me immense pleasure to share with all of you that many people have available in this program and they were eagerly listening to all of us and wanted that how India can secure its energy security through bioenergy. And we are hopeful that Brunel and IIT Delhi will be able to develop a useful product, useful technology, which can really serve the people of both the countries. So I am thankful to DST, UKIERI, British Council, Brunel, IIT Delhi, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan organizers and participants who have contributed to make it a successful event today. So thanks to everyone. I am not specifying, giving any name, but thank to everyone. Everyone deserves appreciation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Virendra, I've just asked everyone involved to please stay back on the WebEx, and Sandeep probably can hopefully switch off the system on YouTube so that we could have a within project meeting quickly.
Yeah. So Rahul,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
YouTube and the live interaction.
Sure, sure. Sure, sir. I'll take 5 seconds. Yeah.
We can discuss. Yeah.